Hi, today we are going to discuss some of the basic concepts in power system analysis. This is the outline of my presentation. Power in single phase and three phase AC circuits, per unit quantity, representation of power system. First, we will discuss power in single phase AC circuits. In an AC circuits, power can be classified as active power, reactive power, and apparent power. The total power in a single phase AC system is termed as complex power or apparent power, which is expressed in volt ampere, kilovolt ampere, or megavolt ampere. The ratings of power apparatus are done in terms of kVA or MVA. Consider a single phase load. Here current I flows from source to load. Current I is lagging with respect to voltage by an angle theta. Let us take voltage as modulus of V angle delta, that is voltage expressed in polar form. And current I can be expressed as modulus of I angle delta minus theta, that is current is lagging with respect to voltage by an angle theta. Here we take the value of delta as 0 because voltage is taken as reference, and since delta is the reference angle, here its value is 0. The complex power in the direction of current is given by S equal to VI conjugate, I equal to modulus of I angle minus theta since delta equal to 0, and I conjugate equal to modulus of I angle theta. So by taking the product VI conjugate, we will get modulus of V modulus of I angle theta, that is VI e raised to j theta. I angle theta can be expressed as modulus of I e raised to j theta. E raised to j theta can be simplified as cos theta plus j sin theta. So the expression becomes modulus of E modulus of I cos theta plus j sin theta, that is Vi cos theta plus j Vi sin theta. In short, Vi cos theta can be taken as capital P, which is the active power. Vi sin theta can be taken as capital Q, which is the reactive power. P plus jq, so its magnitude root of P square plus Q square is the magnitude of apparent power, that is mod S equal to root of P square plus Q square. We can express these powers in power triangle also. X value is the active power, Y value is the reactive power, and the magnitude or the hypotenuse part is the apparent power. So again, S equal to P plus JQ and theta equal to tan inverse Q by P. Here Q is the imaginary part and capital P is the real part. It is positive for lagging current and negative for leading current. Next, power in balanced three-phase circuit. In a balanced circuit, total power equal to 3 into power in single phase. We know power in single phase equal to Vi cos theta or cos phi. Magnitude depends on the angle they are taken. This phase angle value or phase angle notation will also differ in each case. In the previous case, we are taking the angle as theta. That is, power in a single phase circuit is given by Vi cos theta or Vi cos phi, where V and I corresponds to the phase values. So here I am representing it as Vp Ip cos phi. It is for a single phase circuit. For a three phase circuit, 3 into Vp Ip cos phi and Q equal to 3 into Vi sin phi, where V and I are the phase values. Again, S equal to root of P square plus Q square. When we simplified, we get the expression 3 into Vi, that is 3 V phase I phase. We know in a 3-phase AC system there are mainly two connections. One is the star connection and other is the delta connection. Consider for a star connected load, VL equal to root 3 V phase, line voltage equal to root 3 into phase voltage, and IL equal to I phase, line current equal to phase current. So we can take P equal to, or active power equal to 3 V phase I phase cos phi. By substituting these values, that is I phase equal to IL and V phase equal to VL by root 3, we get the expression root 3 VL IL cos phi. Similarly, the reactive power Q equal to root 3 VL IL sin phi. Active power root 3 VL IL cos phi. Reactive power root 3 VL IL sin phi. Again, apparent power equal to root of P square plus Q square, because S equal to P plus JQ. And simplify, we get the expression S equal to root 3 VL IL. For delta connected load, we know line voltage equal to phase voltage and line current equal to root 3 into phase current. Again, we are substituting the same expression, power P equal to 3 V phase I phase cos phi. We will get 3 into VL IL by root 3 cos phi, because in the delta connection V phase equal to VL, I phase equal to IL by root 3. We get the expression P equal to root 3 VL IL cos phi and Q equal to root 3 VL IL sin phi. Here also S equal to root 3 VL IL. So in a 3-phase circuit, the equation for power is same irrespective of the load connection. Whether it is star or delta connection, the values of power will be the same. Values means the expression of power will be the same. Next, we are going to the another topic, that is per unit quantities. Per unit quantity is defined as the actual value of a quantity divided by the base value of that quantity in the same unit. Consider a power system. There are different types of bus voltages. There are different types of power. So we need a reference value or need a base value for the calculation and for the simplification of different parameters. So here we are choosing a base value of voltage and power, which is taken as base voltage or base power, and all other values of voltage and power are expressed in terms of this reference value. So here we are taking the per unit values. In such cases, the per unit quantity or per unit value is very much needed. In that case, we can say that per unit value is given by actual value divided by the base value or reference value. Again, consider the case of a single phase system. For a single phase system, base current equal to base volt ampere divided by base voltage. Base current I suffix B equal to base volt ampere. Here it is taken as kVAB, kilovolt ampere base, divided by base voltage, base kV, which is represented as kV suffix B. Then base impedance equal to base voltage in volt divided by base current in ampere, that is ZB equal to VB by IB, that is VB divided by IB can be taken from the equation 1. From equation 1, IB equal to kVAB divided by kVB. So that expression can be substituted here. VB divided by KVAB divided by KVB, which is going to the numerator. Here, for the simplification, I am dividing the expression by 10 raised to 3. So, this VB divided by 10 raised to 3 becomes KVB into this KVB into the numerator part 10 raised to 3, the whole divided by KVAB. KVB into KVB, that is base KV into base KV. Base KV the whole square, KVB square. B is the represented in suffix value, suffix part. Then 10 raised to 3 by KVAB or KVAB divided by 10 raised to 3, which is taken as MVAB. So base impedance equal to base KV the whole square divided by base MVA. We are considering the per unit values for a three-phase system. Let us take VLN equal to line to neutral voltage and VBLN line to neutral voltage base. One is the actual value of voltage and other is the phase value of voltage, base value of voltage, that is reference value of voltage. So VLN divided by VBLN equal to VLL divided by VBLL. That means here line to neutral voltage divided by the base value of line to neutral voltage, which is same as line to line voltage divided by the base value of line to line voltage. The per unit value of line to neutral voltage on line to neutral voltage base is equal to the per unit value of line to line voltage on line to line voltage base. Also, 3-phase KVA divided by 3-phase base KVA is equal to KVA per phase divided by base KVA per phase. KVA rating we can also taken as the per unit quantity because it is the power, apparent power, and whether we are taking for the per phase value or for the 3-phase value, its value or per unit value will be the same. Therefore, in 3-phase system, line to line voltages and 3-phase KVA are directly used for per unit calculation because its value is same. 3-phase power in terms of line values is given by base KVA equal to root 3 into base KV into base current. That is KVA equal to KV into current. We are taking the base, so suffix we can represent it as the base value. The KVAB is the 3-phase base KVA, KVB is the line to line base KV, IB is the line value of base current. And this expression is important. KVAB equal to root 3 KVB into IB, or base KVA equal to root 3 into base KV into base current. From this expression, IB can be derived as IB or base current equal to base KVA divided by this root 3 into base KV. Base impedance per phase, ZB equal to base KV divided by root 3 the whole divided by IB into 1000. That is, in a 3-phase circuit, either the connection is star or in delta. We are considering this as the star connection. That is base KV into 1000 divided by root 3 into base current. KVB into 1000 divided by root 3 into IB. Again we are substituting IB. In the previous equation we know IB equal to base kVA divided by base kV, and by substituting that expression we will get ZB equal to base kV square divided by base MVA, where base kV is the line value and base MVA is the three-phase MVA. Impedance is always expressed as phase value. Let us do a problem. A three-phase generator with 1000 kVA, 33 kV has its armature resistance and synchronous resistance as 20 ohm per phase and 70 ohm per phase. Calculate the per unit impedance of the generator. So take the base values as base value of voltage equal to 33 and base value of kVA as 1000. Then per unit impedance equal to actual impedance by base impedance, and base impedance equal to base kV the whole square divided by base MVA. Here base kV is 33, so 33 square divided by base MVA. Base kVA equal to 1000, so 1000 divided by 10 raised to 3. That 10 raised to 3 goes to numerator as this 1000. So by simplifying we get the answer as 1089 ohm, and this is the base impedance. Actual impedance is given. Armature resistance and synchronous resistance values as 20 ohm per phase and 70 ohm per phase. So actual impedance can be expressed as 20 plus J70 ohm. So per unit impedance equal to 20 plus J70 divided by 1089. We will get 0.018 plus J 0.064 per unit. So this value is expressed in per unit, because this actual value divided by this base value or reference value. Here we are going to discuss the per unit impedance of a transformer. This is the equivalent circuit of an ideal transformer. There is a primary winding, secondary winding, a primary voltage and a secondary voltage. An EMF is generated in the primary winding. A mutually coupled, since the coils are mutually coupled, an EMF is induced in the secondary, which is expressed as ES. This is for an ideal transformer. For a practical transformer, the resistance and reactance in each winding will also be same. For the primary part, we can express the resistance as R1 and reactance as X1. Therefore, the impedance is Z1, R plus JX1. The secondary side also R2, X2. Similarly, impedance Z2 equal to R2 plus JX2. For a transformer, kVA will be same on the primary side and secondary side. We know apparent power in both the sides will be equal, because transformer changes only voltage. Consider a single phase transformer having a primary and secondary voltages, which is expressed as V1 and V2, I1 and I2, and impedance referred to primary side is taken as Z1, and with respect to secondary side we can take it as Z2. kVA is same on both sides of transformer, hence V1 I1 equal to V2 I2. This is equation number 1. Base voltage for the primary side is taken as V1 and base voltage for the secondary side is taken as V2. Base current for the primary side is I1 and base current for the secondary side is I2. Base impedance for primary side is V1 by I1 and per unit impedance referred to primary side can be taken as the actual value divided by base value. Actual value is Z1 and the base value is V1 by I1, that is Z1 I1 by V1. And we know from equivalent circuit of transformer, if all other impedances are transferred to either primary or secondary side, then the calculation will be much easier. Therefore, if Z1 is the impedance of the primary side, and when this Z1 is referred to secondary, we can take as the actual impedance referred to secondary equal to K square into Z1. And we know whenever the impedance is transferred from primary to secondary side, we have to multiply it with transformation ratio square, that is K square. And similarly, whenever the impedance is transferred to the primary side from the secondary, we will divide it by K square. And here we are transferring to the secondary side, so Z1 into V2 by V1 square, K square. Hence per unit impedance referred to secondary side equal to Z1 into V2 by V1 square divided by V2 by I2. That is Z1 into V2 square into I2 divided by V1 square into V2, and we will get the expression Z1 V2 I2 divided by V1 square. After simplifying, we will get the expression Z1 I1 by V1. That is, we have derived earlier from the equation 2, per unit impedance referred to the primary side is Z1 I1 by V1, and here also per unit impedance referred to secondary side will also be will also have the same expression, that is Z1 I1 by V1. And from this derivation it is understood that the per unit impedance with respect to primary side is equal to the per unit impedance with respect to the secondary side. A problem related to the per unit impedance calculation of transformer, a 3-phase delta star transformer with rating 100 kVA, 11 kV bar 400 volt, has its primary and secondary leakage reactance as 12 ohm per phase and 0.05 ohm per phase respectively. Calculate the per unit reactance of transformer. First of all, we have to choose a voltage rating as base voltage and a power rating as base power, that is base kV and base kVA. So this is the first step. Here base kV equal to 11 kV and base kVA equal to 100 kVA. In some question it is directly given to select this voltage as the base kV and to select this power as the base kVA. Otherwise we can choose the power from the given question. So the base impedance ZB equal to previous formula, base kV square divided by base MVA, that is 11 square divided by 100 into 1000, that is 1210 ohm. To find the total reactance is the next part. Transformation ratio K equal to V2 by V1, and we get 0.0364. So I said it earlier, in transformer there is a primary part and secondary part, and there will be reactance in the primary and the secondary side also. In the question also it is given the primary reactance and secondary leakage reactance. So we have to transfer the reactance to one part or to one side for the calculation. Here the leakage reactance is referred to the primary side, that is X01 or total equivalent leakage reactance X01 equal to X1 plus X2 dash, that is X1 plus X2 by K square, where X1 is the primary leakage reactance, X2 is the secondary leakage reactance, and X2 dash is the secondary leakage reactance referred to primary side, and whenever it is referred to primary side, it should be divided by the transformation ratio square, that is K square. So X01 equal to X1 plus X2 divided by K square. After simplifying, we will get 49.735 ohm per phase, and per unit value of reactance XPU equal to total leakage reactance divided by base impedance, and we will get 0.0411 per unit. So our question is to calculate the per unit reactance of transformer, and this is enough, and we have to show per unit reactance will be same whether it is referred to primary or it is referred to secondary. So that's why I am taking the second case also, otherwise it is okay. In case 2, the question also it is not mentioned, but just to show that it is same for both case. So in examination, or from the examination point of view, we have to take, or we have to consider the any one case, either a case 1 or case 2. In case 2, the secondary winding ratings as chosen as the base value, that is base kV equal to 400 volt, and 400 volt is 0.4 kV, and base kVA equal to 100. So base impedance equal to base kV square divided by base MVA, that is 1.6 ohm. The total leakage reactance referred to secondary side X02 equal to X2 plus X1 dash, that is here the leakage reactance is referred to secondary side. Secondary side the leakage reactance is X2, and the primary leakage reactance is transferred to secondary side. Whenever primary leakage reactance is transferred to secondary side, we have to multiply its value with K square, that is X2 plus X1 into K square, 0.05 plus 12 into 0.0364 square, and we get 0.0659 ohm per phase. Per unit value of reactance is 0.0659 divided by 1.6, which is equal to 0.041 per unit. In the previous case also we get the same value, 0.0411 per unit, and by doing this example we can show that the per unit reactance or impedance of transformer referred to both sides, either primary or secondary, is same. Next portion is the changing the base of per unit quantities. So whenever we have to change the base, what formula should be applied? We know impedance of a device or component is usually specified in per unit on the base of nameplate rating. When a system is formed by interconnecting various devices, it will be convenient for analysis if impedance are converted to a common base. Hence, it is necessary for converting per unit impedances from one base to another. And a simple formula is derived. Per unit impedance ZPU equal to Z divided by ZB. Here Z is the actual value and ZB is the base value. Base value of impedance ZB equal to base kV square divided by base MVA. By substituting, we get Z divided by base kV square divided by base MVA, and base MVA will go to numerator. This is the per unit value of impedance. Here we are taking or considering the two cases, ZPU old and ZPU new, that is per unit value the old base and per unit value in the new base. So in this expression we can substitute the value ZPU old equal to Z into MVAB old divided by KVB old square, ZPU new equal to Z into MVAB new divided by KVB new square. 2 divided by 1 gives ZPU new divided by ZPU old, and by simplifying we will get an important expression. ZPU new equal to ZPU old into KVB old divided by KVB new the whole square into MVAB new divided by MVAB old. That is, new impedance equal to new per unit impedance equal to old per unit impedance into base KV old divided by base KV new the whole square into base MVA new divided by base MVA old. This equation is used to convert the per unit impedance expressed on one base value to the another base value. Now a problem. A generator is rated 500 MVA, 22 kV. Its star connected winding has a reactance of 1.1 per unit. Find the ohmic value of reactance of winding. If the generator is working in a circuit for which the bases are specified as 100 MVA, 20 kV, then find the per unit value of reactance of generator winding on the specified base. So XPU is taken as 1.1 per unit, KVB old 22, base MVA old equal to 500. We can calculate XB as base KV square divided by base MVA, that is 22 square divided by 500, which is equal to 0.968 ohm. And from this, the actual value of reactance can be calculated. That is Z actual divided by X actual equal to X per unit into X base. And the actual value of the reactance is 1.0648 ohm per phase. So the new base value is KVB new equal to 20, MVAB new equal to 100. So XPU new equal to XPU old into KVB old square divided by KVB new square into MVAB new divided by MVAB old. By substituting the values, we will get the answer as 0.2662 per unit. Another problem. 3 generators are rated as follows. Generator 1, MV and KV ratings are given. X is given. Similarly, for generator 2 and generator 3 is given. Here, what value should be taken as base quantities? It is given in the question also. Choosing 200 MVA and 35 kV as base quantities, compute the per unit reactances of 3 generators referred to these base quantities. So again, the expression XP new equal to XP old divided by base KV old divided by base KV new the whole square into base MVA divided by base MVA new divided by base MVA old. Here old rating means the corresponding machine rating, and new rating represent the base value rating. That means in the first case XPU old into KVB old, that is generator 1 by voltage value 33 divided by KVB new, that is base value, new base value is the base quantity value, choosing 200 MVA and 35 kV as the base quantity. So the new value of MVA and new value of voltage is 200 MVA and 35 kV respective. So here KVB new equal to 35 the whole square into MVAB new. MVAB new is the base value 200 divided by MVAB old is the corresponding generator value. Generator 1 value MVA is 100. So we will get the answer as 0.178. Similarly, for the generator 2 and generator 3 also, we will get the corresponding per unit values. So in this section, how we can represent the power system by using certain symbols or symbolic representation of power system. For a 2-winding transformer, 3-winding transformer, current transformer, potential transformer, AC rotating machine, generator or motor, power circuit breaker, bus, star connection, delta connection, then star connection with neutral grounded. Here how we can represent the power system. Mainly we can represent the power system as three diagrams: impedance diagram, reactance diagram, single line diagram. Single line diagram, first of all we will discuss the single line diagram. Here the components are usually drawn in the form of symbols. An example is given, mainly consists of generator, circuit breaker, bus, transformer, etc. Ratings are also given. This is for just explaining the meaning of single line diagram. Next is the impedance diagram. Each power system component is represented by its equivalent circuit. For a synchronous generator, voltage source in series with resistance and reactance. Transformer is represented by the equivalent circuit, and transmission line by nominal pi or nominal t equivalent circuit. So simply from the single line diagram, if we draw the equivalent circuit from the single line diagram, we will get the impedance diagram. And third diagram is the reactance diagram. It is drawn by neglecting the resistance part and considering only the reactances. Here capacitance is also neglected. So the problems based on reactance diagram. Draw the per unit reactance diagram for the system shown in figure. First of all, a generator, then transformer, T1 and T2. Between T1 and T2 there is a transmission line. This J60 corresponds to the transmission line reactance, and another section is the bus part. This bus part consists of two motors, M1 and M2, and a transformer. On each component, the corresponding ratings are also given. For the generator, values are given: T1, T2, M1, M2, then transformer, another transformer, 25 MVA. This is 11 kV bus. So, first of all, in these problems, we have to choose the base kV and base MVA. We are choosing the generator value as the base value. Sometimes in the question it is mentioned to choose the base kV or base MVA. Otherwise we can choose any value. (20 MVA is the base MVA and 11 kV is the base kV. We know while considering the transformer usually changes the voltage. So from generator up to the primary side of this transformer T1, base kV will be the same, that is 11 kV. But from the secondary side of T1 to the primary side of T2, the value of base kV will be changing, since it is a transformer. Otherwise there is no problem. Hence new base kV in the secondary side equal to base kV in the primary side into the transformation ratio. Suppose for T1 the transformation ratio K equal to secondary voltage divided by primary voltage, that is K equal to 66 divided by 11. Base kV up to T1 is 11 kV. Base kV from T1 to T2, that means from secondary side of the T1 to the primary side of T2 is base kV in the primary side, that is previous base kV is 11 kV. That 11 kV into the transformation ratio, that is 11 into 66 by 11. So here the base kV is 11 and this part the base kV is 66 kV. Here we are using the previous formula, XPU new equal to XPU old into base kV old divided by base kV new the whole square into base MVA new divided by base MVA old, that expression. And by substituting the values we will get the generator value as XPU new equal to, this is taken as the reference value, hence no change, 0.15. And for the transformer T1, this is T1, 30 MVA, 11 bar 66 kV, 15%, its reactance value. V old equal to 15%, that is 0.15 into base kV old divided by base kV new. Base kV old is machine rating, that is T1 rating is 11 divided by base kV new is the base value is this 11 kV, so 11 by 11 the whole square into MVA new divided by MVA old. MVA new is the base value, that is 20 MVA. MVA old is the corresponding component rating, 30 MVA. 20 divided by 30, which is equal to 0.1 per unit. For transformer, we have to calculate either the primary reactance value or the secondary reactance value for the per unit calculation. Here I am considering the primary part of the transformer T1. This is same for the secondary also. Next component is the transmission line. For the transmission line, its actual value is J60. So we have to calculate the base value of the or base impedance of the transmission line. For base impedance, we know base kV square divided by base MVA. Base kV square, the new base kV is, since we are using the transformer, its base kV changes. The new base kV is 66. That is 66 square divided by 20, which is equal to 217.8. This is the base impedance. So per unit impedance is the actual impedance divided by base impedance. J60 divided by 217.8, which is equal to J.275. Again, we are considering the transformer. The concept is same that I have explained earlier. We will get the answer as 0.1 per unit. Again, there is a bus. So in the previous case, the voltage is 11 kV, and for the motor M1, its voltage is also same, that is 11 kV. For motor M2, the voltage is same 11 kV, but in the bus there is another component also, transformer. So at that time the base kV will be changing. Finally, we can draw the components and represent the components in a reactance diagram. Then another question, draw the reactance diagram. Different values are given. Here also the same concept. Whenever transformer is coming, base kV will be changing on the secondary side. But for per unit calculation or per unit reactance, value will be same for the primary or the secondary. Here choosing the base MVA as 100 and base kV as 220. It is given in the question. And again we are doing the calculation. The formula is the same that I have mentioned. And finally a reactance diagram is drawn. So I have explained the concepts of complex power, per unit quantities, and finally the representation of power system components. The main reference text I have taken is the course in electric power by J.B. Gupta and power system analysis by Nagur Kani, and the sources from websites. Thank you.